Ever wonder how a whole town goes witch crazy? Welcome to the Salem Witch Trials. In 1692, Salem, Massachusetts became the epicenter of an infamous witch hunt that has fascinated us for centuries. Often simplified as a tale of superstition and mob mentality, the reality is far more intricate. This wasn't just about pointy hats and broomsticks. It was a complex mix of fear, politics, and social dynamics that spiraled wildly out of control. So buckle up as we uncover the truth behind the hysteria. Forget the potions and cauldrons. The real horror might have been in the bread. That's right. While tales of witchcraft often focus on eerie spells and sinister gatherings, the true villain could have been a common fungus known as ergot, found in rye bread. This isn't your typical mold. Ergot contains chemicals similar to LSD and can lead to a horrifying array of symptoms, including hallucinations, muscle spasms, and severe mental disturbances. Imagine the scene in Salem, Massachusetts, back in the late 17th century. This small Puritan community was rife with fear and suspicion, and then suddenly, several young girls began exhibiting strange and unsettling behavior. They screamed, threw things, contorted their bodies in unusual ways, and claimed they were being pinched and pricked by invisible forces. The town was quick to cry witchcraft, but let's pause for a moment and consider another explanation. Ergot thrives in damp, cold conditions, exactly like those during the rye planting season in Salem. If this mold contaminated the rye crop, which was then baked into the daily bread, it's plausible that many townsfolk could have been unknowingly ingesting this potent hallucinogen. The symptoms of ergot poisoning align eerily well with the behaviors described by those who were said to be bewitched. So was it witchcraft that terrorized Salem, or was it something as mundane as a fungal infection in their bread? This theory suggests that perhaps what fueled the witch trials was not malice or superstition alone, but a tragic, toxic mistake. Was Salem's nightmare sparked by a fungal infection? Let's delve deeper. In Salem, seeing wasn't believing. Dreaming was damning. The witch trials of 1692 introduced an alarming form of evidence into the courtroom: spectral evidence. This meant that a person's dreams and visions could be used as testimony against someone accused of witchcraft. Imagine the scene. Neighbors, friends, even family members could claim that your spirit appeared in their dreams, tormenting them. And that was enough for a conviction. This reliance on spectral evidence turned the community inside out. Trust evaporated overnight. Anyone could be accused, and everyone was a potential accuser. It was a perfect storm where personal vendettas could be settled through whispered accusations with no need for tangible proof. The community was on edge, everyone watching their backs as fear and suspicion ran rampant. The judicial use of spectral evidence meant that reality was no longer grounded in what could be seen or proven. Dreams had power, and in Salem, a whisper could spell your doom. Amid freezing winters and war, Salem was a colony on the edge. The Massachusetts Bay Colony, much like the rest of the young settlements, was grappling with more than just the harsh New England elements. Land was at the heart of many disputes, as settlers clashed over boundaries and ownership. These tensions were exacerbated by the looming threat of conflict with French forces, which added a layer of military anxiety to the already strained community. In these trying times, the psychological landscape of Salem became fertile ground for paranoia and fear. As resources dwindled and the community faced the real dangers of starvation and isolation, the inexplicable needed explanation. Instead of looking to mundane causes, the supernatural provided a more convenient culprit. Economic instability often breeds fear, and fear can transform into a hunt for scapegoats. In Salem, those scapegoats were witches. When fear and uncertainty peaked, the witch hunt began. In 1692 Salem, not even men were safe from the witch craze. While the iconic image of a witch often conjures up a woman, the reality in Salem was more inclusive and, frankly, more alarming. Both men and women found themselves ensnared in accusations of witchcraft. This wasn't just a gendered issue, it was a profound societal upheaval. However, a closer look at the demographics reveals a striking pattern. Many of the accused were indeed women, particularly those who didn't quite fit the mold of 17th century societal norms. Widows who had inherited their deceased husband's property, and outspoken women who defied the submissive female stereotype were frequently targeted. It appears that their independence and relative autonomy posed a threat to the rigid patriarchal structure that preferred women to be dependent and docile. The power dynamics at play were complex. Accusing someone of witchcraft became a convenient way to reassert control over women who dared to step outside their traditional roles. It wasn't just about superstition. It was about maintaining a social order that kept men firmly in control of the community and its resources. Men weren't immune to accusations either. Those who found themselves at odds with the community's leaders or who had disputes with neighbors could also be accused, showing that the witch trials were as much about power and control as they were about fear of the supernatural. In a fight for power, no one was safe. The echoes of Salem's witch trials resonate as a dark lesson in history. These events unfolded over 3 centuries ago, yet their impact lingers, shaping American culture and legal practices. The trials were a cataclysmic moment where fear and superstition overruled reason and justice. This grim chapter serves as a powerful testament to the destructive potential of mass hysteria, coupled with a flawed legal system. In the aftermath of Salem, the concept of due process began to evolve. The trials highlighted the peril of relying on spectral evidence and the necessity for tangible proof in legal proceedings. It was a lesson in the importance of safeguarding individual rights against the whims of the majority. Today, as we reflect on Salem, we are reminded of the crucial role of critical thinking and the continuous need for legal safeguards to prevent similar miscarriages of justice. Salem teaches us the critical need for reason and justice in the face of fear. That's a wrap on the shadows and myths of the Salem witch trials. I hope this journey has sparked your curiosity and opened up new perspectives. If you found the Ergot theory intriguing or have other thoughts, don't hesitate to drop a comment below. It's crucial we learn from history to navigate our present and future. So hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and let's keep the conversation going. Keep questioning, keep learning, and remember, history's mysteries are waiting to be unraveled. See you in the next video.